got a little update on my video. I haven't been uploading very much just because, I mean, it's a long process trying to get through all this the tank stuff. Uh, Man, I've been through some diversity with this tank to say the least. I started out, my first coral was this zoanthid over here. Actually, no, I had like a pom pom, and it just looked ugly. I threw it out, sadly. But then I got that one. Uh, I put way too many fish in it, and it just crashed. Like when I say too many fish, I had the one oscillator clown that I had in there before. Over time, I had another one, as well as I had a domino damsel. So I got a Petco just because it was the tiniest domino I've ever seen. So I was like, I gotta get it. And then as well as I went to the fish store one day, and there was a goby there, but it was apparently native to the actual ocean. Like that thing was literally just pulled out of the ocean, and they were selling it for like $15 because it wasn't the prettiest looking thing, but I just kind of wanted to go around and kind of scoot around on my sand beds. That didn't really work out. Um, it died, but it like turned black before it died. Like I was just astonished. I think that the domino died first, and then I didn't catch it because it died in the back, and then it made it just big colossal fail. And one of the clownfish ended up dying as well. That one, I mean, it really wasn't good. It had white spots all over it. Uh, I ended up aiding that, and everything was going good, and I got it back onto plate. Now, now in this tank, I added two green star polyps. You can see one over here in the right. I thought they were gonna be the same. Now that one it's a little bit thick strain. It's like if you were to mix a green star polyp with like a normal pom pom or like a palm tree. I don't know the perfect exact name for it, but uh, the, the blades are a little bit thicker. Uh, I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. Like I like the kind of thin, grassy kind uh, that just spreads. But I haven't really found that to be true of how that one goes. The other one is starting to spread, but it's so high up in my tank. Now I say so high up. It's really not. I think it just the tank. It just spotlights right on top with this the FLUVAL EVO 13 and a half. The stock lighting is just not great, but I didn't want to invest the money in getting it a better lighting because I wanted to get the AI Prime, and then I just wasn't gonna get anything if I'm not gonna get that, which I'm still waiting for that. Uh, I'm somewhat unfortunately, but not really. I have to save up for a wedding right now, and so that's kind of putting this tank on hold right now, which is why I haven't really added anything. But well, I say that, but I still have a whole lot more compared to what I had before. You see the two zoanthids, the one at the top. I don't know. It like I just don't really like it too much. It was one of my first corals, so it kind of just still sticks in my heart a little bit. But for the most part, it's a pretty basic looking. Like it just kind of has this just real fleshy red. The bottom one is my favorite right now. I mean, the inside is kind of a dark red, and the outside kind of it looks like almost like a really ops backwards sunflower. Not backwards, but like the yellow parts aren't nearly as long. And I just did a water change recently, about like an hour ago, which is why my hammer corals aren't really fully opened up right now. Uh, but the one on the right is a bigger one. I think I bought that for around like $60, which some of y'all may just cringe to that, but like around here, that's typically what you're gonna have for one of that size. It's probably the size of like a good two golf balls. If you were to like double the size of a golf ball, that's about what that size would be. The other one I'd say about is just a golf ball, the green one. I think I got that one for like 45. Uh, and as for filtration, I got the in tank. I got both of the filtration systems. Now I don't really know if I'm a fan of running both of them. I wish you could put the first one in the second one, but because of how the filtration is and that little slot, and if those who have the FluVol 13 and a half, you know what I'm talking about on that first slot. You can't put that in the second one, and it's not even. It's a different size. I think like the second one is a little bit wider. Uh, Honestly, if I were to do it all over again, I would have not gotten the FLUVAL Evo. The filtration on it, I don't really enjoy it. It it doesn't make sense. Like normally when you have like a filter sock, your water is going and it's being filtered vertically, if that makes sense. Like the water is on top and it goes down and flows through media. This, it's not necessarily like that. It goes through it. The water comes in vertically but goes out horizontally. And I'm just really not a fan of how that is. I can't, it doesn't go in order from just like, okay, this to this to this. It just kind of like, it may make it to the third, it'll probably make it to the second, and it will definitely make it to the first. And it's not a way, I don't know why they would even have done that. uh Even with the space, like I know having three compartments, like it makes it sound a whole lot better than just having two, but I think two would have just been better. uh and just have it almost like a hang on the back filter, basically, but just in a bigger form. I'm just really not a fan of the FLUVAL EVO 13 and a half. Uh, as well as what I have in here now is I got that same clown that I had in the first video. It survived, luckily, because it can kind of see this whole trip, and I think that's kind of cool. I got a like a black clown. I mean, there's probably some sort of like really proper name for it, but I'm not really gonna go into that. I also added one emerald crab and a peppermint shrimp. As for cleaners, like well, let's say you have a really big algae bloom. I like my entire rocks were just covered in algae, and I probably should have gotten a video of it, but I was just, you could say I was just so ashamed of it because it just blew up and just got terrible. I didn't do what I needed to do with it, and I was trying to get all these different. I got at least 12 over time. I got like 12 different like red and blue leg hermit crabs. Mostly red, but those, I mean, not at the same time, of course, but for the most part, I got maybe four at a time or so. And that, I mean, dude, like they don't do anything. I mean, like you can see them on the rocks right there, but the amount of what their stomachs are, I mean, those crabs right there at the top, right up here, they're if you were to pull them out of their shell, their body is about as big as the stomach on that little peppermint shrimp on the bottom. That thing has just perfectly cleaned my rocks. Peppermint shrimps are the way to go, or just shrimps in general. I don't really know about the other ones, but for the most part, I know that cleaner shrimp is really good. I also have an emerald crab, and I had that emerald crab, and it wasn't really. I haven't seen much of the bubble algae. I did at one point, and then I put it in them, and I haven't seen any at all. Now, maybe because I changed my cleaning habits, I went from going a week and a half to a week at a time before I did my water changes, and that really helped a lot with the emerald crab. I didn't really notice it, but I feel like if I were to take him out, I would really, really tell the difference. Uh, and just to kind of run it back, between the first time I made that video, I added way too many fish. Don't. If you got a small tank, stick with what you need to do. Do not overstock it. You can overstock it with corals and stuff, but that just ends up being much more expensive anyways. I would just let the corals that you have grow, and don't just sit there. I mean, you can actually grow better corals. I feel like that way, but like, it's not just bought. I like the thought of having corals and having it grow throughout the entire tank, and then basically making your tank, not just kind of sorting it together. Of course, it is a small tank too, so it's a little bit easier to actually do that and claim to do that and actually complete it. I'm nowhere near that. I'm planning to add a lot more, but I'm still trying to keep it pretty low maintenance. And just pretty easy going, so that way I don't have any more crashes like I did before, because that was colossal. I mean, it was terrible. Uh, just, I mean, every other day a fish dying, and if you ever had a fish die on you, it's just not a good. You sit here and watch these guys every day, and then to have them die, it's really sad, and you don't want to see it. Uh, but for the most part, I mean, this is back where my tank is. Let me give you a little overview. Uh, you can see I got some high quality productions right here. I got my little Xbox mic. Uh, as well as, if I'm moving stuff around here, this is my high quality YouTubing stand box. Uh, like I was saying, this was the Green Star Poly. It has really thick arms, but this right here, I put it way too high up. Literally melted. I didn't believe people when they said that, but it really does melt. And to look at it, it's really not that high up. I mean, it's pretty deep. It's not even maybe halfway up, but I mean, it's just kind of what it ended out to be. unfortunately. I got my thermometer just kind of floating around because I scraped the side of my tank right here. Uh, but as you can see, let me turn on this light. Um, I got the two end tanks. This is kind of janky. I don't know because the way that the water flows is sometimes will go on the cracks. So I literally have some like wrappers flowing around the edges trying to keep all that in. Uh, and if y'all want me to kind of go in more depth about what kind of filter media I run and everything, I'd be glad to. Just let me know. And just kind of keep on talking to me, guys, because I'm really looking forward to try to like continue to grow this channel. Whether it be anything, I really want to start being more active in the whole YouTube community. And if I get a pretty solid amount of people following, that'd be really cool. And I would like to just keep on exchanging with you guys. Anything you would like to know, I mean, I'm here to help. I don't have expert experience or anything, but I do have the experience of what I've done myself. And I've been doing this, I think, for about a year now. When I set that first tank up, or the first video of my tank, I think I was about a month into it, I believe is what I said. Maybe even more, because it did take a long time for for this tank to really settle in and get to where I can add everything into it. As for like pumps, I just got the that wood brand that starts with the K, and I think it pumps 240 gallons a minute or hour. Bennett, that'd be ridiculous. Uh, yeah, guys, any questions that I have, just shoot me. I'll do what I can. I mean, any sort of additives that I make to the tank, and just let me know. All right, guys, it's me. Peace.